Welcome to the Slumpfish Sunday Synth Show starring Digitone 2. Today we're going to be making some ambient music. What I love about ambient music, specifically on Digitone 2, is that it really encourages intentional listening. Because when I think of ambient music, I think of two ways to appreciate it. You can appreciate it passively, where you're falling asleep, you're zoning out, you're studying, whatever. But a really good ambient song will also give you enough information and will be strong enough compositionally to where if you lock in and give it your full attention, it will reward you. And that is probably the best way, I think, to look at the Digitone 2 as an instrument. It rewards you for intentional listening. So that's going to be what we're going to try to do today. We're going to try to excavate some interesting ambient sounds and textures and movements. And hopefully we can create an interesting ambient environment for listeners to slow down and take in the scenery. Give them something to just joyfully follow. And real quick, I want to give a shout out to Mellow Kit, Cat is Fact, and Clutch Haskins. Thank y'all for being here. Cat is Fact from the UK, though. Thank you for being here today, man. So, first thing I want to do is create a Koto string instrument. Now, Koto instrument, if you're not familiar, it's a Japanese stringed instrument. It's sort of like a harp, but it's a little bit different. Just realized I'm not plugged in. I better do that. And it's one of those classic FM sounds you can make. Like, I'm pretty sure the Yamaha DX7 also had a Koto string sound in it. But it's really simple and it's perfect for ambient tracks because it has a really long release and a very pronounced pluck. So it's not just like, your standard pad lead swell, the kind of thing that you would expect from like a classic synth ambient track from the past. This one can kind of make a nice contrast to those sounds while also, giving us a long bed of a tone to just kind of, rest in. So first thing I want to do is head over to the scales and we're going to pick the Hirajoshi scale. Now forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. It's this one right here and it's only 5 notes. Let's go ahead and fold it. And now y'all instantly recognize that sound, right? And it's because of this scale. If you play this with a different scale, it might just resemble more of like a regular guitar type sound. So now this is the made finished version of the sound, but I want to go ahead and bring it back to just like 0 and then bring us here because I think it's such a good jumping off point because we don't have to settle for this sound. We can pervert it. We can get weird with it. We can make it more, we can do anything we want. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump to track 2, save it. We're gonna go to our second algorithm because this is gonna allow us to do a 2-op FM. Now there's 4 operator FM, 6 operator FM. The Digitone 2 is a 4 operator FM device, but different algorithms will give you different interesting configurations. Algorithm number 2 allows you to isolate just 1 operator and 1 carrier. And so you can do kind of simpler FM type sounds. So in this case, I want to do the B1 and the B2 operator. I'm going to flip the mix over to the Y. And the reason we're picking this is because the B1 operator has our feedback. I'm going to go ahead and dial in a little bit of feedback. And I want to have my ratio be, let's do 0.50 over 2. And that's just a good starting point. Jump over to the next page. Now we need to raise some modulation levels because that's a nice sound, but we're not there yet. So let's go ahead. Now you notice the sound's not changing, and that's because it doesn't actually start sending modulation from the B level until we get past 50. So now we're adding sounds to it. We can go. So I'm going to park it here at 61. I think that's a good number. Now, if we want to recreate a realistic sound, like a plucked instrument type sound, we could, for example, do like a strong envelope here with a short attack. But we could do a little bit better if we use our exponential ramp, which is in the LFO page. So check this out. If I go to LFO 1, I'm going to set it to B1, or to the B level, right? And we're going to put it at exponential shape. And we're going to do one-shot mode at halvesies. And we're just going to we're going to feel around for a speed. We'll see. But if you think about it, this is, of course, an exponential shape. So it's going to be much sharper. It's going to have a much steeper drop, but then it's going to have a longer pull down. And so the advantage, of course, is that we have a better shape for creating a plucked sound, because we want to have that sharp transient followed by a long, resonating tone as that string vibrates. If we go over here, if we were to try to do something like that with this envelope and do it like that, what's going to happen is it's going to start at 0 and then it's going to jump to 100, and which in this case 100 is our 61. That's what we set it at, and then it's going to drop down from there. But I don't want that. What I want is for our sound to start at 61 and then jump up higher and then come down in that very nice exponential drop. So you can hear already that sort of sounds sort of plucky string-like. We're getting there. So next, what I want to do is basically the same exact move, but we're going to do it with the feedback. So actually, you know what? We're just going to copy this, paste it to LFO2, and now we're going to change our target to feedback. And because that feedback sound, it's adding a lot of just like noise, coloration. That is perfect for when you pluck a sound, because anytime you smack something, a percussive sound, anything like that, you're going to get quite a few frequencies lit up if you looked at it on an EQ. And that's essentially what white noise is. It's just all frequencies at the same level of volume. So we're kind of imitating just that kind of, that little bit of percussive pluck that happens there. Thank you, Clutch Haskins. I appreciate you, dog. For pizza later, I'm going to eat up some dank pizza later. Thank you. Coffee and DN2, Mr. Aegis, you read my mind, bro. I need to load up on some my new pour over, but maybe I can't leave the stream, so I can't do that right now. Giza IDM, thank you for being here, homie. It's good to see you again. Okay, so back to what we were doing. So we have a LFO in one-shot mode, and it's pumping up very sharply our feedback. What would it sound like if we did too much? Nah, that's not what we want. Just a little bit actually goes a long way. Just adding a little bit of color. Okay, next what I want to do, and this is something that you could apply to any string sounds that you make on the Digitone 2 or whatever. It's very subtle, but what I want to do is I want to mess with the pitch, right? And I want to do another exponential shape, but this time I want to go the other direction. I want to drop down, and I want to drop down just a tiny amount. See, it's at like negative 0.11. Of course, we're going to put it on one-shot mode again, and let's see. That sounds very subtle. Let me exaggerate it so you can really hear. Now, doesn't that sound like you're plucking like a rubber band or something? And that's because in real life, we only want a little bit, of course. But in real life, when you pluck a string, you know, you're stretching out that string and then it has to like come back to its stasis point. But on the way that it comes back to its stasis point, it's technically a longer string in that moment because you stretched it, which means the note is slightly lower. And so if you ever listen to like a metal band like Meshuggah, you know, they really, and of course they're bending the strings as well to really exaggerate that effect, but that's what you get. It's a nice dong. Safe 747, thank you for being here, homie. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. So we have our LFOs in place. Now we need to get to like the actual secret weapon. I saved this for later in the development of this sound because I knew it was going to be like an instant money maker. We go machine, go down, comb filter, the plus. Now, going to increase some feedback. We're going to pull down our frequency. I think we could put it around there. And we're going to maybe increase the low pass filter a little bit. Whoa, no, that doesn't sound good. That helps a lot with the sound of the string. But of course, if we go back here to key tracking, just pump that up to 100%. Now what's going to happen is this frequency filter is going to follow the keys. So we're going to get a more uniform sound, because if we don't have that, certain frequencies will line up with this comb filter wave, and they will be like the resonances poking through will feel very strange, because the fundamental frequency will hit those and just be like, it'll be totally out of whack. Now, it does sound a little bit sharp, a little bit stilted to me. So we have our second filter right after it. I'm going to set it to post filter. So this is going to affect the sound after it goes through this filter. And I want to do a band pass. So we're going to pull this in. And that sounds a little bit better to my ears already. But if we go low, we're not getting as much of like those low satisfying tones as we would like, because it's dipping below where this bass is at. Now, anytime you want to do a bandpass, the bass is where you control the width amount. The width is independent. I guess the bass is independent. The width follows the bass no matter where the bass is. And I want this to be key tracked as well, but this does not connect to this key tracking. So we're going to go function setup. We're going to go into this patches key tracking, which is right here. We're just going to set it to key track the bass filter. There we go, bass. And I'm going to put it up to 8 positive. So now that bandpass is going to follow that string. Also, we should maybe give a little more pluck action here on our attack time. I don't want it to be immediate, and I want to go ahead and bring a shorter decay, but we have our sustain about here, so we get more of a pronounced pluck. And then of course, I want my release to be pretty long, because it's very much like, you know, hitting a harp. You just kind of want those notes to ring out. Maybe we can go even longer, honestly. Maybe. Oh, all right. So that's going to be our first sound for this ambient track. Got to go to my keyboard setup here, flip it to folded so we can just fit way more notes. I'm going to save it. Just for fun, I want to compare it real quick to the one that I had prepared earlier. Ooh, that one has a really nice sound to it. I think a lot of the, let's see, where is this one at? 78, 82, 48. Let's see if changing it to these will help. 78, 82, and 48. Doesn't that sound like a real string? Although, so sometimes I do think a little sample rate, it can kind of cheapen the sound, but these high notes are really high. So maybe even put a little reverb on it. All right, save it. All right, track 3. So next what I want to do is dig into something a little more regular ambient. So hey, let's get a little, let's try to make some sounds that have a more gradual and something that contrasts with our sharp sound from the Koto, something a little more gradual in the way that it rises and falls in both volume, but also just general movement of sound. Something that can just kind of play off this other sound. So now, of course, we could play around, get funky with these ratios, play around with that. I was kind of leaning a little bit on almost organ type sound. Giza IDM is saying that we should use the width filter to help tame the highs. That's a decent idea. It is currently being key tracked. So let's try pulling it down though. Yeah, that helps. That's a good idea. Thank you. Okay, track 3. The force is Car Plus Strong with this one. I'm embarrassed to admit that I don't think I've jammed Car Plus Strong before, so please forgive me, and also please give me a recommendation of where to begin. All right, so we want a long attack time, long release. Ooh. Kind of like that actually. Let's go ahead and just record that in. Oh, what am I doing? Silly goose. Okay, we're going to turn this down. First of all, we're going to do save per track. Then we're going to lower this down to 8 speed. So it's going to jump through these steps pretty slow. Let's see how that sounds. Oh my lord. Sorry, that was my little practice track that was playing earlier. All right, so right now we have it at 16 steps, but we have still left it at 16 as the reset. I kind of wish this wasn't the default, or I wish there was a way we could change this so that problems like this didn't happen. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn this back so it gets to infinity. And so that way this problem doesn't pop up again. Go ahead and save it. I like that because it's 12 beats long. Yeah, maybe let's leave it at 11, even though that was an accident. Oh, okay. I didn't realize Car Plus Strong is a actual method for synthesis and physical modeling. Because I was like, I know I've heard that before. Which album should I listen to, you know? So thank you, Giza. You're always coming in with those helpful tips, man. Car Plus Strong is a synthesis method of physical modeling that loops a short waveform through a filtered delay line to simulate the sound of a hammered or plucked string. Hell yeah. Cool. Thank you. I appreciate getting a name for like what that technique is. Okay. You know, it's pretty slow, but I think we could go slower. Wait, what the hell? Oh, okay. So I'm going to record a little line with our string instrument here. And I'm going to go ahead and shorten that to 12. Save it. The heck? Did not mean to do that. That's my bad. All right, go back to this track right here. And I'm realizing that I want to go ahead and shorten it to 10. And this one, let's shorten this one to 10 as well. No, what am I doing? It's this track right here. In steps. All right, save it. Look at that, we did it again. I'm just shooting off these combos so fast. I'm too much for the Digitone 2 to handle it. Can't keep up with me. I'm not the one who's making mistakes, so. That's sounding better. Now let's mess with this sound right here. That feedback adds a really nice sizzle to it. And that kind of thins it out when we turn our harmonics towards this kind of wiggly sawtooth type shape, but I do like it. What would it sound like if we bring our octave down? Ooh, those low notes sound good. Let's test some extra algorithms, see what's up. Ooh. See, this is the problem with ambient on Digitone 2, is that I like too many of the sounds. You know, it's going to be too easy to just land on one thing and say, I love that. Why not? All right, let's keep going though, just to see what's up. Okay, I like that. Now what's happening here is we're not hearing any feedback because, like I explained earlier, the B level is below 50. Let's peak it over 50 just to see. Let's set it at 49, and then let's set an LFO to affect that feedback. So we're going to move in and out from that middle point. We're going to put it classic triangle shape. And yeah, we'll just leave it there. Put it on mult so we can really dial in our speed. Let's feel it out. Oh, tripping. Sorry. We're affecting the feedback, but we're affecting it by changing the level. That's my bad, y'all. We're not hearing feedback because of the level, so that's what we need to be modulating. Lolito 420. Dude, thank you, man. That makes me feel really awesome to hear that, bro. Like, yeah, I just want to keep doing more of these because This is like literally the funnest instrument in the world. Like, I feel like I've been using it nonstop for a long time, and I've probably scratched like 25% of the surface or something, you know. It's always fun also to like just, you know, try to make it not work and see how that makes it work, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I just have a lot of fun doing this, so thank you for saying that. It means a lot to me. Okay, so we have a nice in and out of that feedback poking through. Let's increase a little bit depth, but let's slow it down. So it's a little more gradual. Okay, it's subtle. Let's leave it where it's at. That's interesting. It almost like wants to sound like a bell or something. Ooh, this would be an interesting bell sound. So I like how it sounds, but I don't like how sharp the transient is. What if we do a backwards envelope just on the amp, and we'll do it upside down exponential, set to one shot mode. So it just kind of like takes a little bit of bite out of that. Like you can hear. Because I want a little bit there, but it was a little too much. Man, and we haven't even started to mess with our pitch yet. So first of all, let's go back here to the offset page. Let's start playing with these offsets. Let's see what happens. It is definitely affecting the sound. When you strike a bell, you get a really interesting, like, kind of dissonant overtone, like don't, like. But then if the bell's like made well, then the resonation of the whole bowl, bell, whatever, is gonna sound good. Let's try messing with. Oh, that's sounding interesting. All right, what if we modulated B1? Let's go B1. Add in sample and hold. Random. And now it sounds like a bell, but it's too out of tune. All right, hold on, save it. Interesting. Okay, what if we try to fade this out? Nah, it's not working. I wish this wasn't the third LFO, because then we could just use another LFO to pump this up and bring it back down. You know what? Let's leave it just really fast like this. Let's increase our slew. Oops, and then let's pull down our speed. Okay, I like that. That's interesting, you know. The Invisible Man from Amsterdam, thank you for being here, dude. Lolito, thank you, dog. Giza, thank you for coming through the other day. That was a lot of fun. I loved making those jams with you, man. That was a interesting way to spend a Friday night. You know, usually I'm just chilling on the couch watching a movie or something. So it was fun to like get in the creative zone. So thank you for coming through, man. Martin Gray 4005. Hi, Martin here in the UK. I missed the start. It's okay, bud. You didn't miss much, man. We're just making some sweet ambient tunes, and you know the music rolls forward. Okay, I think this is a cool sound. I'm happy with it. Saved it. Let's go back to our other sound and see maybe we could fit this in an interesting way to go over it. Now we have a problem, obviously, because they're playing over each other. So I'm gonna go into the trigs here on our pluck sound, our Koto sound. I'm gonna hold down the trig, hold down function, and we're gonna move these over on the micro timing scale, because like the slower you go, then these start to become like quarter notes, half notes, 16th notes. Because of course, if you're going fast, then these become more like ways to create more interesting movement of your percussive sounds, but in this case, perfect for what we want, which is this. Okay, let's save it. Let's save it. What would happen if I grab these notes and just put them here and then did the same thing? So they're playing the same melody. Okay, that's cool, but I think I want there to be more of a contrast. But let's go ahead and save it and come back to it. Because I'm really happy with what we got going on track 3. But we need something to contrast with this. So let's see what happens. Let's open up our, you know what? Let's do that corny thing that is always fun to do, which is where we just randomize the settings and see what it sounds like. That's interesting. Actually, okay. Ooh. Oh, that's dangerous. Okay. Let's LFO our mix. Yeah, keep it at that shape. Nice and slow. That's interesting. Actually, I want to go this way. And we need to go slower. That's sounding interesting. Cool. Thank you, Mr. Aegis. And Clutch Haskins, dude, thank you for suggesting the Koto, because such a sick sound, such a fun. I feel like now I want to use a Koto like on every track I make. I already started working on some like fast, crazy dance stuff using the Koto string. So thank you so much for suggesting it. Save it. Okay. I'm gonna drop in. Pull that down. I think it's a C3. Why are you being weird, dog? All right, perfect. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do trig. We're gonna set this so it plays one time at the very first time that anytime we start this pattern by putting it as first. We're gonna go over here to function page. We are set to infinite, so that's good. And basically what's gonna happen is whenever we start, oh, and I need to go to this trig right here and increase the length till we get to infinite. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna hit play, and it's just gonna begin this drone, and it's gonna play infinitely. And it doesn't matter that this is gonna continue to cycle through because it's only playing the first time. All right, save it. So something I think would be interesting to do. Let's go to our LFO, right? So this is our mix, and every time we are pulling towards the, I believe it's, the Y side of the mix, when it's going towards this B operator right here, it's getting that kind of almost like more distorted type sound. And so it's following this shape. We're going to copy that shape over to the next one, but now we're going to send it to affect something else. And what we're going to do is we're going to flip the phase on, so that is, wait a minute. Yeah, so we're going to put it at 64. So now it's a mirror image. And what that's going to mean is whenever it goes towards the Y, we're going to have an inverse direction of something else. And what I was originally thinking about was putting it on the filter. So like as we get to this more aggressive, like fuzzed out sound, maybe the filter pulls in a bit so we can still feel that intensity, but it's not necessarily like, sizzling grease in our ears. It's more like a calm, I don't know how to describe it, but when you put very high frequency, energetic content through a filter, there's something actually very calming about it. I mean, it's kind of that sensation of when you dip your head underwater, like, it feels very like, I guess like you're in the womb or something. So very cool sound. Let's see if we can pull it off. And right now we have it on harmonics, which is fun, but let's try that filter first. And then if we want, we could try something different. Filter frequency. Yeah, it does sound very John Barry, classic James Bond score. Yeah, Lalo Schifrin. Yeah, I love those scores. I didn't think about that, but you're totally right. Has that kind of like ominous vibe going on. Okay, so that's kind of working for me. I mean, these two sounds are kind of occupying the same general area, so they're creating kind of a wash effect with one another, but they have enough movement that it's not like sounding overly cooked or anything, if you know what I mean. Just for fun though, let's try this. Actually, no. Let's leave this here. Let's copy, jump over to LFO3. Now we're gonna try and send it to something else. Let's see what. Messing with the ratio all, of course. Always makes it sound insane. That's interesting. Let's flip that phase back. Increase our depth amount. Interesting, but let's go back to that's kind of cool. Put it back with the, let's put it with the flipped phase. That was cool. I like that sound there. Cool. I think that's interesting. What would it sound like if we put some resonance on it? Okay, now let's try to do something with our Koto sound. Okay, let's try that. Ooh. Okay, that's a 7 count of notes. And so let's try, we're gonna make a polyrhythm now. We're gonna lower this to 7 notes. Let's try making it, let's see what kind of speed feels appropriate. Oops, gotta unmute it. So my problem with this is it's a little too active, right? Because we want this to be ambient. We want it to feel like people can really get lost in it. So a sound like this, maybe if it's like coming in and out like this. Okay, I kind of like that. I do like that. Okay, we have used up all our LFOs, but this third one, we don't necessarily have to have it. Makes it sound more realistic when I give it more of that. All right, so let's reset this LFO. Let's go to our amp volume, and we're just gonna do a classic triangle, turn it real slow. I guess let's keep it locked to the BPM actually, because we might mess with our tempo later. So very slow, 1 BPM, pull it down. Kind of like that, that's cool. But we gotta go slow. All right, let's try, what speed are we at? We're at 110, huh? Why is it not being slow enough? That's weird. So am I going crazy, or does that feel not very slow for being like the slowest possible speed, right? Okay, I mean, obviously that sounds awesome, so. Something I did the other day with this sound, pull it over this way so we're getting more of our A and C operators, right? Bring up A a bit. And then shift our A harmonics to the left. Sorry, our C harmonics to the left. So it resembles more of a sawtooth. Cool, thank you, Clutch Haskins. I feel like that's something must be, maybe I'm doing something wrong, I'm not sure. But yeah, it feels like it should be slower on that. Obviously that's not like the same string sound, but I think it's interesting to mix in kind of like it has a interesting attack to it, interesting timbre. Okay. Okay, I like that. Let's leave that where it's at. We have a nice contrast here. We have this this sound right here, which is our plucky little background sound. Then we have this sound. It's kind of like our bell almost type sound. Almost like hitting some gamelan bells or something. And then we have a nice drone happening underneath. And now I want to add something to maybe be like the icing across the cake. Let's go into back to our FM, fun little FM hoedown. All right, this is, all right. Let's try this one right here. I want to make something with a really nice and gradual stretch to it. You know, something that feels like it's pulling itself across the track. And I want it to contrast by being very light and very up, you know, up top, like just a very beautiful ethereal lead. Okay. Okay. Play around with our ratios a bit more. Sorry, it's kind of loud, y'all. Ooh, okay. Let's try something funny. Let's go to our B1, not offset. I guess just we'll mess with all the B ratios at once. B ratio, random, sample and hold, and very fast speed. And we're just gonna push it a bit. Oh, sorry, not sample and hold. I want it to just be running. So actually 2K is way too fast. Yeah, keep it at 16. Let's also keep it going with the beat that's already going. All right, and let's have our second LFO play with the depth of our first LFO. Okay, that's at least interesting. Bring it down that way. I think now is when the time for us to get a little generous with the reverb and our delay, maybe. Wouldn't it be crazy if we also played with the mix here? Save. Okay. Well, I like that sound, but I'm not sure it's the right sound for this song. Let's mess with the pitch. We get a real nice wobble. Wait, skipped it. Here we go. Okay. Go ahead and record. That's our chord, right? Save it. This, set it to infinite and set it to first. Save it. All right. And now I want to go back to track 4, which has this real nice gradual push and pull to its like evolving timbre texture. We're going to go ahead and copy that. Go to track 5 now. And let's apply that to this one right here. Let's apply it to our filter. Save it. Track 4. This is the shape we had for the frequency. It went up first and then it went down. So on this one, I want it to go down and then up. Perfect. Okay. Let's try this. But you know what? Just to make sure, we're going to set it to begin when the note begins. Just so that there's absolutely no ambiguity as far as where and when these when these LFOs get started. Feels electric. I agree. There we go. That's what I wanted. Sweet. But I think this is a very good like starting point, right? But I want to kick it over to the chat. Is there something that y'all think I could add to this or maybe take away from this that would give it some more character, maybe take it in an interesting direction? Let me know what y'all think. Sick. Save it. Let's pull down our BPM. Let's hear it without our drone. Okay, that's kind of cool. Cut out some lows. So I'm going to lower the speed of these LFOs on tracks 4 and 5. See how that feels. Mr. A just says, this is probably where I'd start thinking about whether a subdued minimal beat or pulse would enhance or detract. That's a really good thought. It definitely has a pulse to it from this track 3 kind of bell type sound. But yeah, maybe a beat could go on there. I mean, I was imagining it, I think I was imagining this as more of a traditionally ambient track, but then this is kind of emerged in a different way than I thought initially. It's kind of cool. Let's try track 4. Let's try taking out a lot of these lows. Because as Mr. Aegis was saying, there's a nice amount of like space between notes. I feel like this track kind of is filling in so much of the sonic spectrum. It's kind of like filling in that space that without it, it feels like there's a lot more dynamics and openness. All right, track 6. Taiko drum. Oh, dang, that would be sick. Ah, man. Oh, I'm gonna have to like really have to think about that one. I don't know if I can like make something as good as like an actual taiko drum, but that would be sick. That'd be, yeah, that'd be perfect. Okay. I want to have some fun here. You know what? Let's pump out a different machine now. Let's go to wave tone. Let's put it on ring mod, which is always fun. Whenever I use ring mod, I always turn down oscillator 2 because ring modulation is combining oscillator 1 and 2 and putting them out through this one right here. So I want to get just what the ring modded signal sounds like. Let's pair on some waveforms maybe. Okay, put a little bit of oscillation on oscillator, a little bit of LFO on oscillator 2, just a little bit, speed it up. Let's put it on random and we'll turn slew up a lot. Sorry if that's loud. Ugh. Interesting because it's giving it like that. So, yeah, long attack for contrast. I agree. I agree. Let's bring this down. Okay, you know what? I think we need to go real soft for this sound. That's kind of interesting right there. Maybe add some noise to it. So let's keyboard setup, fold. Let's go ahead and just add like an interesting synth line to it. And that is, the hell? Okay. An eight note loop. Pull that down to 8. And we're gonna make this real slow. Okay, it's not slow enough. Oh, tripping. All right, Problem here is we need to increase our trig length. So put it up at, actually let's make it really long so that they're going to overlap. Pull that back, pull that back. Let's lower our probability. Oh dang, Giza. Sorry you're stuck at work, homie. I think I'm gonna come visit you one of these days though, because I wanna try out what you guys got going on over there. Alright, I'm gonna try one more sound, y'all. Not one more sound, but I wanna do another sound. Oof, stretch my back. Let's go nice and low. Some low sub magic. You read my mind, dude. That was exactly what I was thinking, the same thing. Some sub oscillator, something to really fill in that low like floor to the whole thing. I want to try something a little bit weird though, so we'll see if it works. It might not work. We're gonna flip it over to attack, hold, decay. All right, we're gonna give it a nice little amount of attack, and we need a long decay. But this is gonna ensure that it's the same length every time. All right, I also want to go ahead and go to setup, set it to play mode mono, because we don't want these notes to overlap since they're so low. When you get to really low frequencies like that overlapping, it just sounds like complete garbage. Hitting that brown note. Yeah, bro, I'm ready to use a bathroom now. Brown note, baby. Cool, I hope folks can hear that through their speakers. Ooh. Sick, sick, sick. We could even turn on a little bit of portamento, see what that sounds. Yeah, let me try that. Okay. Okay, that's a good idea, Giza. We could try to track layer some interesting things. I'm gonna lower the speed here, clear it, and let's just play over it and see like what notes sound good. Wait, I got it wrong. Put it at half speed, that's what we want. 2, 3. Oh, we're unquantized. I want to quantize it. Actually, no. Unquantized, yeah. 3, 5. Yes, super moody. Okay, I wanted to start over right here, so we're going to shorten it by 4 steps. 60 is our length. Turn it down a little bit. Let's go to our... Let's mess with our harmonics. So we're gonna do some... We're gonna make it so it starts from when we hit the note. Pretty subtle. Let's go ahead and shift our phase over to 64 so that what's going to happen is we are starting from where we are set and we're leaving from that point in either up or down depending on where the depth is. This is going to be goofy. It sounds like somebody's burping. Okay, this is not the right shape. You want something a little smoother, like this. Now we could just do it so it's one shot and then slow it down a lot. But then it just takes like one gradual, you know, journey. But if we're gonna go that far, we need to slow it down quite a bit. Ooh. I like that. It's subtle. Let's hear it without it real quick. Now it's starting a little softer and then it's getting, or it's because it's dipping away from the harmonics and then coming back. Anyway, let's hear how it sounds with the other sounds. Cool, makes it a little subtler. Bring down that volume. Okay, let's pull down the probability on our string sound. We'll even pull down the volume a little more. I'm gonna push the volume of the whole thing up. Okay, this is our high-pitched sound, and we have some open LFOs, so I want to affect the amp, right? And it's going to be a square wave. And then we're going to have the next LFO mess with the depth of that. Or maybe mess with the speed. So LFO to speed. And now let's make it kind of fast. Mess with that speed. Messing with the amps. Let me turn this guy up. It's not quite working the way I want. I think one of the problems is there's too many voices carrying over. Go to our second. Cool, I like that better. It's more of an interesting contrast. And I want to go ahead and copy these over, right? I'm going to put them over here. Or better yet, okay, now. Do some track layering. We're going to now be controlling track 8. Go over to track 8. I want to mess with the ratios, because if you put a very tiny amount of movement on each ratio, on a ratio, do it backwards. That's a small amount, but it's doing quite a bit. Let's try it on ratio A. Oh, sorry, this is crazy loud too. Oh, what am I doing? So what I want to do is have basically a lead that is matching this lead over here, which we're doing track layering, so that's what you're hearing right now. But this lead right here, I want to have a lead that's matching it. It's not going to be following that same pulse from the square wave, but it's going to be doing kind of its own ratio shifting. Let's go ahead and just silence all the other tracks. Hand this over to the right and this over to the left. Cool, so now it's like they're twinkling. Let's go ahead and switch this to be mono. And I want to slow down that speed a bit. And maybe even detune it a bit. Okay. Actually, that one. And let's go ahead and bend our pitch a bit. Let's go for a fast pitch bend so we can. That sounds silly. Of course, put some verb on it, a little sample rate, some delay. And this has 60% probability. Interesting, okay. Now this one right here. Yeah, I agree. It is sounding kind of slightly menacing. Interesting for a for an ambient track to sound menacing. So we need to really try to ambient this up. Sick, man. Feeling rebooted on a rainy Sunday with slump tunes. Just drifted. I feel like that's exactly what I would like this music to do, is to just drift out, man. Okay. Let's play around with our tempo a little bit. Pull it way down. Okay, a little faster. Mission accomplished. Now there's a weird thing with the Digitone 2 where the swing function is only going to mess with like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16 on the grid. And it's just gonna move these closer to the note that comes after it. So when we have these really slow, like on here, it's moving really slowly between each individual step. If we turn on the swing, it's still going to only affect these, which is goofy because that's not what a swing would make sense for that situation. But let's turn it up and see how that might affect our sound. And let's not be shy. Let's go like all the way up. Ambient horror label. I love it. That's my plan. Actually, my dream has always been to like score a horror film because I feel like that's where all the most interesting music is happening in movies today, like the Hereditary soundtrack. Like I feel like people are more down for stuff that's like interesting and weird if you wrap a horror movie around it. If you just put that music on at home, people don't want to jam that. They want to listen to Katy Perry or whatever. But like in that context, they're suddenly very open-minded. And it's just interesting that that's what it takes is to create a horror movie. So I've always wanted to try to do a horror movie myself, but not sure I'll ever get the opportunity. Okay, our drone is pretty loud still, so I'm gonna bring that down. Let it be more of like a background sound. So that swing, giving a little bit of a different, it's not so uniform, these hits. So it feels a little more like loose, like you don't know when the note is gonna come. Oh yeah, I'm glad you agree, man. Yeah, I think we can bring this drone way down. And you know what? On our bass track, I want to go ahead and make our portamento time pretty slow. I think we can go a little faster though. I think it sounded better when it was faster. Okay, I like 105. We were originally at 110. Oh yeah, Giza. Have you guys ever heard the Suspiria soundtrack? That's maybe my favorite soundtrack of all time, and it's absolutely insane. And I would not be surprised if y'all had heard it, because it's like, I feel like it's legendary. Legendary Italian horror film. Okay. Track 9, we're going to go to our wavetone machine. We're going to turn down the oscillators. We're going to jump over here to noise. Turn that up. Excuse me. So you know what I'm talking about then, Mr. Aegis. Let's go to, we're gonna mess with this tuned noise. We're gonna add a nice little like wash wave of sound, you know what I'm saying? Like a noise level. That's perfect. And we're gonna go hella slow with it. Oops, I forgot to. We're gonna set our noise level down here. So it's just kind of like there in the background. We're going to use this LFO to bring it in and out. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and mess with this. Oops, change this tuning, put it up a little higher. Do you guys have a favorite horror movie, like horror movie soundtrack? Because mine would probably be Suspiria, but there's some amazing ones out there. Next, we're gonna mess with the filter frequency. Make the filter frequency happening kind of fast. And we won't make it as dramatic. Okay, now we're gonna lay down a trig, set it to forever, put it on conditional first. It only plays once. And now we're gonna add that wash to it. Oh, of course, man. Yeah, what am I thinking? Blade Runner, man. I mean, that's gotta be like maybe like the best soundtrack of all time. Arguably, the most influential. So let's dial in our noise here. So what should we do here? Okay. I came for a slump groovy hand dance. Don't think I will witness it today. Yeah, today's all about slowing down. But I do have a thing I could show y'all later that might be fun. The conversation, the thing, both those are, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Now we have a problem here, is that it's a really slow, it's a really slow wave, and it's going down too low. So we need to bring up the noise level, and we need to bring down the depth amount that we are pushing it. So I'm gonna bring it in like a conservative estimate, like a little further than I think it needs. Actually, that sounds about perfect. And then for fun, I want to mess with that noise, that tuned noise setting. So there's noise type and there's noise character. So this is going to affect, since it's on tuned noise, it's going to change it around to these, you know, basically this is like a warmer noise and then it goes up here. But actually, let's try grained noise and we can move around with the grained noise. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out a bunch of the lows. For our character, let's put it on random hold. Turn up that slew, and in case y'all have never messed with this slew setting, it's unique to the random wave. It basically just makes it so that these sharp implied jumps here on this shape are going to be a lot smoother. So we're just going to get a truly random, like, it's going to go in and out of the grain. Let's put some delay on it. Yeah, Blade Runner, The Conversation, The Thing. The Thing is amazing. I know there's one I can think of that is absolutely like remarkable. Because there's Bernard Herrmann, because he did all those Alfred Hitchcock scores. His are amazing. Like Vertigo, the soundtrack to Vertigo. That one's insane. I'm gonna pull down this noise a bit. Thank you, bro. Thank you, dog. Okay. I'm digging this, but it's time to get reckless, y'all. We're gonna do something. This is a don't try this at home moment. We're gonna do something disgusting and wrong. We're gonna violate our Digitone 2 with some MIDI loopback. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this. That way that pattern is saved forever. Paste it to the next one. We're gonna take our tiny little hilariously small MIDI cable and we're going to plug it in from the MIDI out to the MIDI in. All right. Save. And now we're going to go into MIDI config. We're going to go to channels. I'm going to turn everything off because I don't want to, I need to know like I'm starting from 0. And I don't want to accidentally mess with a channel that I'm not trying to mess with. All right. And we're going to go to sync, clock receive, transport receive, everything off so that we don't send that to ourselves. Save it. All right. Track 16. This is going to be our magic track. So let's go into machines here. We're going to pick MIDI. We're going to do channel 9. Yeah, channel 9. And that if you check our, so if you go to MIDI config, port config, let's also turn off receive notes, but we're going to receive CC in RPN. Sorry, channels. You go here to FX control channel is channel 9. Note novice. Thank you, dog. I appreciate you, man. Keep up the good work. Thank you, dog. That means a lot. I wanna keep doing this, you know, as much as I can, man. Giza says Hereditary, Midsummer are great. Also the Substance. Yes, man. Substance was sick. That was crazy. Any of Nicholas Winding Refn. Oh yeah, man. His movies are amazing. Like Drive is such an influential movie. Like my girlfriend had never seen it. We watched it together and it was like getting to hang with somebody who had never seen it before. And just that movie totally ushered in. I think, you know, Stranger Things came later with the whole revival of like analog synthesis sounds and stuff like that. But Drive came first and it definitely brought that heat. And then to me, I remember when that soundtrack came out, like ooh, even like the songs that just pop up over the credits and stuff, classic. All of the above. Absolutely, man. I choose all of the above as well. Okay. So channel 9. Let me go ahead and search real quick. Check my, we got to see what our MIDI CCs are because I don't have them off the top of my head. Digitone 2. Electron 2. And what we're going to do, I wish I could show you guys my screen right now, but what I'm doing right now is I'm scrolling and I'm going to find, here we go, the MIDI CC destinations to mess with our effects. Because obviously we can't use regular LFOs to mess with the delay time, the feedback amount. We can't mess with how much reverb. But if we use our MIDI out to MIDI in, then we can use a MIDI CC message to apply a LFO and mess with these amounts. So I'm going to do the most always go-to hilarious and fun thing to do, which is mess with our ambient delay time, because then you get that like, whoa, whoa, and I think that's going to be hilarious. And maybe we'll mess with the reverb too. And if I feel generous, maybe do some, I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to take too much of people's time. So let me try to speed this up a bit. And so we're going to go over, we're over here in our MIDI channel 16, or track 16. And now we're going to set, this is the value page. We want to flip it one more time. This is where we're going to set the destination. So I'm looking at what our choices are on the screen right now. And we have delay, let's see, where we go. Delay time, and that's MIDI CC 21. So we're going to set this to MIDI CC 21. Okay. Now we're going to turn on this value. And now, if I move this around, it should mess with our delay. Oh, see, look. I don't know if y'all remember, but the delay was over here before, right? Now, I'm going to follow that. See, it's following it. So we are in control of the delay time. Now, that in and of itself is actually not that interesting. But if we go now over here to our LFOs, and the Digitone 2 has 2 LFOs for your MIDI channels, which is a really nice jump up, we can sort of awkwardly dial in some movement on this guy right here, value 1. And I only want a little bit. I don't want a lot. So we're going to move. So just like right there, just a little tiny bit of amount. And we're going to go down here to value 1, since that's what we've assigned to be affecting MIDI CC 21, which is our delay time. And yeah, slow like this. Now, in order for the Digitone 2 to understand that we are using this track, because since there's no information actually on it, it's just going to ignore it and pretend like it doesn't exist. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and just drop in a trig, a ghost trig. We're going to go to our trig here, and we're going to set LFO trigger on. So now that this trig exists, this is going to tell the Digitone 2 to let track 16 affect things, because we're not really affecting it through anything that's actually on the sequencer. We're only affecting it with our 1 LFO. So if you already know all this stuff, forgive me. You know, I just wanted to like at least give a basic idea. But like now, let's turn the depth all the way down. And let's make sure we actually got some tracks that are getting fed into the delay. So let's pump that up. That one doesn't need to go, but that one doesn't either. But these leads definitely can go into the delay. That'll be fun. And yeah, maybe this a little bit. Okay, so check this out. Back to track 16. Turning the depth up. You can see it's moving. This just got like 20 times creepier. Dave. See what the folks are saying in the track. Oh yeah, Thief. What's up, Dopamine? Welcome back. That's a really, really good suggestion, Stickster. Stickster is saying that they recommend on both Digitac 2 and Digitone 2 saving as a preset your MIDI track. I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. That way I wouldn't have to walk through all those steps. I can just load it. So I'm gonna save it right here, MIDI 16, but I'm gonna call it So as y'all can hear, that delay movement of the delay time is, it's not doing it's not moving very much, but it's really affecting that sound, giving it a really nice nice vibe. Okay. I want to keep going. Let's mess with something else now. Let's do reverb decay time. That's MIDI CC 30. Let's go back in here. Hey, MIDI CC 30. Wait, let me see something real quick. So now I have the LFO2 of track 16 affecting the amount of the depth of the LFO that is affecting our delay time. So as you can see, it's actually going a lot further now. So then we definitely want to bring this in. Bring this in. Cool, I like that. I like that a lot. This would be rad with a long delay pad or something too, detuning and spreading it out. I agree. I agree. Let's go to track 15. MIDI delay chaos. But now we're going to go in and change this to effect 30, which is reverb depth. Yo, Meerkat, thanks for joining, dog. Glad to have you back. Okay, save it. Value right there. Oops. Wait. Reverb. Decay time. Yeah, so we're messing with decay time of the reverb. We need to drop in a trig. There we go. It's wigging out. It's going crazy. All right. Bring in that depth. Turn up that slew. Turn down the slew. What you doing, bro? Yeah, I see it's wiggling now. Oh, I see. Let's go ahead and move this up, way up here. Go straight up dead center, 64. Turn that up. It's too slow, too slow. Turn down that slew again. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, now let's put way more things through the reverb. am I doing? There we go. This is what I wanted. We're going to pull down our depth. We're going to push our value in this direction. Bring up our depth a little more. Y'all can hear like it really rings out when it jumps to the edge there. So Pablo71 asks, is that a special MIDI cable? No, it's just a really tiny one that I bought. It's like 6 inches long or something. Just a regular MIDI cable. Plug it from your MIDI out to your MIDI in. Meerkat missed the setup there, but basically what I'm doing here is I have a special track and I've made it a MIDI machine. I'm sending it to effect channel 9 because by default channel 9 is the input MIDI channel for messing with the effects parameters. And so now then I've gone in and I've set it to effect, here we go, MIDI CC30 for track 15, and that's reverb decay. On track 16, I'm affecting MIDI CC21, which is delay time. So that's how we're getting these interesting effects. And you also have to make sure that you drop a trig onto any MIDI track just to make sure that the Digitone sees it. And so I just do a ghost trig and then I lock that there. That's like the cliff notes. So note to self, start using kits. I agree. What did Giza say? To add to what Stickster said, you should save all the settings as a kit. You can do it now, but it's also going to save all your other sounds as well. So I'd recommend doing that before you load sounds. Cool. Yeah, I mean, that's really solid advice. Cool. Pretty happy with this. Ooh. Okay, I really like it when that decay jumps to the top, right? Of the reverb decay, I mean. So we go track 15. This is our value. We're gonna pump this up so it's pretty high. So now we know that the depth is going to more often jump to the end of the decay because I'm closer to the edge there. Even bring in our depth a little bit, send that value up even more. Yeah, because I want it to hang out either full decay or away from it. By setting our value up high and setting our depth to where it's at, it's basically jumping to the ceiling whenever it wants to hit a value beyond a certain point, because it can't go any further. So it's just more likely to hit that ceiling than it is to not hit the ceiling, even though it can still travel back and have a shorter decay as well. What's Sticks are saying? Nice. Kits, man. That's the way to go. Okay. Now, if we really wanted to get weird, some of your videos are translated into French audio. It would be great if they all were. I can't really control that. I mean, maybe there's something I need to do on my end. I'll look into that, man. Because, yeah, that would be cool for them all to be translated into French audio. I mean, it must be a YouTube thing. So, oh, you know what? I may have turned that setting off first because okay, so I'll go back and turn that on for the other videos if I can. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, man. I'm pretty happy with this ambient track. I know it's not the most ambient of all tracks. I know it's not like some classic Clutch Haskins says to get weird. I'm sorry, bro, but you're right. I'm gonna have to get weird. Right. Okay. Yeah. Meerkat is YouTube Studio. I'm gonna mess with those French auto, the auto dubbing or whatever. I'm very happy with this. We're gonna copy it. Something to keep in mind: if you're using MIDI loopback and it lands on like a certain sound that you really liked, immediately pull out your MIDI cable, because what happens is whenever you use a MIDI track, it's going to completely overwrite whatever's happening in the pattern. So usually with like a LFO on a regular track, it's just going to like send the information wherever, but it's always going to snap back to like the original point. With MIDI loopback controlling with the LFO, that doesn't work like that. It's going to just, if you unplug it, it just stays exactly where it is and you save it there. But let's say, for example, you don't unplug it and it's just moving all around, doing a bunch of different things. If you save it, it's just going to save wherever that particular moment is in time. So if you, for example, if you have like a pattern exactly how you want it, save it, then copy it, start to do your MIDI shenanigans, and maybe you get one sound where you like it, and make sure that it's not playing with a value and putting it somewhere where you don't want it, and save that, and then build from there, because yeah, it gets too crazy. Now, all right, I don't want to take too much more time, but I do want to get a little freaky, a little weird with it. So that's a real nice sound right there. We're gonna go into here. We're gonna go to setup. We're gonna go to where are we at? Where's it at? Modulation wheel, and we're gonna pick some settings to play with. So I want to mess with our harmonics. This is, we're going to create a macro. We're going to pull our parameters in some weird directions, right? Then we're going to use a MIDI channel to then move this dial for us. And this dial is going to affect all those channels at once. Again, if you're already familiar with this, you know, forgive me. All right, let me hear just this bass by itself. Okay. So with the bar at the top, now we can start messing with it. Harmonics is always a weird one. So let's mess with feedback. No, okay, let's mess with, whoa. That's tight. Okay, now we're gonna do something weird. We're gonna grab the bass filter. We're gonna and then we're gonna grab our FX, delay send, turn that up. And we need to do something crazy. Let's mess with our LFOs. Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, hold on. I want to mess with something really ridiculous. Yeah, mess with the algorithm. We're going to put a random source on it. We're going to turn it way up here. And we're going to leave it at depth at 0, right? Because we're going to go into our modulation wheel. We're going to mess with mod to depth. Making it sound goofy. All right, so we've set up a macro here. When this is down, sounds nice and beautiful, smooth. When this is up, sounds ridiculous. And it's sending it out to that delay. Maybe you should go into the reverb. I know y'all are thinking, why did we just ruin our sound? Well, that's because we're going to get crazy. All right. And let's go into track 14. And we're going to load our MIDI delay chaos patch, but then now we're going to go in. Let's pull down these LFO. Yeah, there we go. And we need to find, let's see, let's pull this down to channel 7 because basses are channel 7. Now I'm going to go into MIDI config, go to channels, and I'm going to set it so that channel 7 is controlled by channel 7, which it would be automatically, but I went through and turned all these off just to make sure nothing goofy happened. And so now we are going to be able to control the modulation wheel. If you go into here, that's our values, value 1. We flip over here. Mod wheel is literally the very first one. So this is with it at 0. Oops, tripping. All right, goofy, beautiful. All right, and we are going to turn this up. Oh, we need to lay down a trig, and there we go. Turn it way down, make it slow. Okay. It's kind of a dramatic sound that I just made. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into setup, modulation wheel, copy these settings, and I'm going to paste them onto every single sound. Even the sounds I'm not using. Okay, and then we're going to go into our MIDI config channels. We're going to make sure that they're all controlled by channel 7. Oops. All right. Oh, and this one too. But now it's going to sound ridiculous. And that was the point of this exercise. So let's test it out. Let's pull down the speed. Okay. I'm going to go in here to MIDI config, channel 7, which is my bass. Flip that off because that's the anchor for everything else. All right, last thing. And just to be clear, track 14's LFO is controlling all these different sounds across our song. So like track 2, we're controlling the send level, the send mix, sample rate reduction. We're playing with our mod depth. We could do more with that. We could mess with something, mess with attack time, you know? Nah, not attack time. Let's mess with pitch. Yeah. Okay. And but all these tracks are all pulsating at the same general value. And I turned it off for the bass because the bass is kind of our anchor. And it's getting weird, it's getting wild. Now, just to prove to y'all how ridiculous this is, go ahead and save the project. Track 13, we're gonna go to load, MIDI delay chaos. We're gonna set this to control. Yeah, channel 9. Let me check our MIDI CCs real quick. In the mixer, we can control the master volume for the entire box. But I'm going to do it using the just regular track level, which is 95. Okay. We're going to flip this to channel 7. I'm going to go to 95. Now be careful with what I just did, because this value is sitting there. It probably just went through and changed whatever CC things I ran through. Just to make sure that doesn't happen, we're going to pause it, take out the MIDI cable. I know, y'all, I know this is kind of ridiculous, and but yeah, thanks for indulging me. We're going to go ahead and load MIDI delay chaos. Set this to channel 7 and pull that up to 95. The reason I'm doing this is because you have this value sitting there. It's going to send this value to any of these destinations that you flip through. And I've totally done that before, and it's sent that value and messed up my patch. So we just got to make sure not to do that. If you really want to be careful, I'll often just turn off the channel completely while I find the MIDI CC. All right, now we're going to turn this up. So what we're gonna do is turn down the entire volume of all the tracks except for our bass, so that those are going to, you know, oscillate and, you know, just give a nice wave. And let's see how it goes. Oops, okay. Wait, no, never mind. 7, there we go. So this is controlling the volume for all of them. And I want to set this to like around here. Turn it fast. Here there's like that wobbliness. Help me out, see what's going on, make sure I got everything right. Channel 7. I should be turning it down. Track level. Okay, sorry. What I want to do is not track level, it's amp volume. So that is going to be, amp volume is 90. Okay. Oh my God. I didn't plug in the MIDI. About to kill somebody. There we go. Yeah. Thank you, chat, for going along with me on this. Taking a little too long. One man's ridiculous is another man's creative. Thank you, Stickster. I want to value everybody else's time, and I feel a little self-indulgent, but thank you for saying that. That makes me feel better. Mr. Aegis says, I wouldn't have figured this track as DN2 only. Yeah, man, this is, yeah, this thing surprises me all the time, so. I kind of like that. That's weird, but let's get a little more subtle with it. Cool. Thank you, Mr. Aegis. I appreciate you saying that. Oh, didn't mean to do that. All right. Track 3. All right. Cool. Glad y'all are digging this. Pablo71, the reason it sounds Japanese style is because we are using this Hirajoshi scale. So it's only 5 notes long, instant, samurai vibes. Really fun, especially for like especially track 2, going for like a traditional Japanese string instrument type sound. Yes, yeah. Yes, Mr. Aegis. Stickster says, I just got a MIDI router and I'm going to see how much it lets me do it without loopback like this. In other words, I think it can do selective loopback, which should be fun to figure out. Sick. I want to get something that can let me just do whatever I'm doing on these tracks, but yeah, outside of it. Yo, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, y'all. This has been a lot of fun. This is maybe my favorite session so far. I know usually I do some hardcore, weird dance music or some funky drummer type stuff. Not literally the funky drummer sample. I just mean like some funky, weird stuff. And this is definitely like a different vibe. So thank you for tagging along with me today. And I hope this extra time I put in to get, to take this further than it was going was. I hope it wasn't asking too much from the folks out there. So just thanks y'all for being here and for just supporting me. I really appreciate it. And hope to see y'all again. I'm going to be streaming again in 2 weeks from today. So Sunday, sometime in May or late April. And yeah. Samurai overlooking a koi pond, polishing his katana after a duel vibe. That's going to be the name of this track. Thank you, Clutch Haskins. And yeah, thanks y'all. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I hope y'all have a really awesome rest of your Sunday. And I got to go walk my dog. So y'all take it easy.